I don't know about you, but I was pretty excited about this week's lesson. We're on lesson 7, Covenant at Sinai. Besides Noah's family being saved from the flood, no one saw quite as dramatically God's grace in action than the Hebrews brought out of Egyptian slavery. This was an ideal time for God to draw near and explain more of his covenant promises to them. Here's what God had in mind for Moses and the Israelites leaving Egypt. Exodus 19:5 and 6 says, "Now therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a special treasure to me above all people, for all the earth is mine, and you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation." So here's what God wanted. Number one, God wanted them to be his treasured possession above all nations. Number two, they were to be a kingdom of priests, blessing and ministering to those around them. And number three, the end result would be a sanctified, holy nation, an example for other nations to follow. These three desires that God had for them actually show us the plan of salvation. Our redemption follows a similar line of Moses and the people. Number one, the Exodus itself, where they were physically brought out of Egypt so they could be free from slavery, representing our justification. We're God's special treasure, too. Number two, the giving of the law to Moses on the Mount, so they could learn about and become like God, representing our sanctification when we become priests, ministering to others. And number three, the building of the tabernacle sanctuary, so they could enjoy God's presence, representing our glorification, something we're still looking forward to at the second coming. We see here then the whole plan of salvation. It's a process that delivers us holy God. Next week, we'll look at something found at the throne of God, something in the Ark of the Covenant, which represented God's throne. You guessed it. We'll be looking at the law and what part it played in God's covenant. So I'll see you next week. Till then, have a good week, and especially a good Sabbath.